Welcome back, you guys, to Won't You Be My Neighbor, the practical real estate podcast for impractical times. We're here, as always, with my co-host, Bill Gaylord. And, we got it right this time. Let's go.
Look at that.
And as always, we have a special new guest host, Alexandra. It's good to see you again, Alexandra.
Good to see you.
Before we get started with today's episode, a tragedy struck in Las Vegas yesterday. You guys have seen it on the news. I don't need to rehash it. The important thing is that right now Vegas needs their community more than ever. What we don't need is anger. What we don't need is people yelling at each other. We need to come together and support. An angel tree has already been set up for the family and for the victims. So please, if you guys can, donate where you can, help where you can. Show them what the Vegas community stands for. Show them that we do not tolerate this behavior, but we do not react with anger and violence. We show our love and support because that's the Vegas way. So God bless to the families and God bless to anybody who's out there helping. Thank you to the first responders for getting this done so quickly. The second I had found out about this from Metro, 5 minutes later, the guy had been caught. So while everything wasn't prevented, Metro and campus security did everything they could to limit the tragedy. So thank you to them. God bless to the officers and first responders of Las Vegas. So thank you
families.
guys. And the families.
Well said.
And the families. Please donate. There's an angel tree set up. Please donate. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, after every tragedy, we still have to move on as a community. And one of the things we're trying to do as a community is keep Las Vegas, which means the people of Las Vegas need to own homes here. They're building a bullet train to California. The amount of people who are going to move here and buy homes is going to keep going up. If we want to keep the Las Vegas community what it is and keep Vegas, we have to buy homes. So in regards to that, our lender Bill has printed us up some really good information on the difference between renting and buying. Every week we come on here and we try to get you guys to stop renting, but a lot of you guys need the finances shoved in your face. No offense. It's like, you got to rub the dog's face in it. A lot of you guys need the numbers rubbed in your face so you know how much you're losing. So guess what? I brought two of the best dog trainers in real estate here to rub the numbers in your face. We have two very smart people in terms of financing and lending. Can you guys both, for people who are new to the show, can you guys give them your background in lending and real estate so they know we're coming from an expertise perspective?
Should we go ladies first?
Always.
Sure, I'll take it.
You go.
Absolutely. So I started in real estate in 2005. I've been in real estate, I've had my license in 2005, working in new home sales, which was a great way to start my career, as well as I went over to the mortgage side and started that at a really good time in 2009. Really fun. But anyways, I've been in the mortgage and real estate industry since 2005.
Bill?
Okay, so I started in real estate in 1986 and was a commercial real estate appraiser for 7 years, decided I don't want to do that, write a term paper the rest of my life. So I got into mortgage, been in mortgage now almost 31 years and seen about every type of market you can imagine and love what I do and helping people get into homes.
So when we say we have a level of expertise here, what we mean is we have people who have worked every stage of the real estate transaction, from appraisal to lending to actually closing the home. And we're all here to tell you the same thing. When you're renting a home, you are literally taking your money and you're burning it. You're throwing it away. So we have some graphics here up on the screen. I'm going to be asking questions today to facilitate because I'm telling you guys right now, my lending knowledge is nowhere close to the two people next to me. So they are going to be handling the bulk of today's work. They're going to be showing you guys what these graphs mean and showing you just how much money you're losing. So Bill, tell the people what's on the screen and what are they looking at?
Yeah, so what you have on the screen here, Brandon, is we were talking before the show and you said, look, let's look at a particular rental rate of $1,800 and what that might actually get you in terms of a rent out in the marketplace. And you said it would come in at about $385,000, somewhere in there.
Bill's telling
$385,000.
the nice version of the story. Some jerk came on my live. And told me that $1,800 of rent is $3,500 in mortgage.
No.
So I had to be petty and prove him wrong. That's what happened. So continue, Bill.
Oof. So anyways, so basically we have a real property that you had just sold and we did the financing, and it just compares $1,800. Oh, by the way, when you gave that to me, I said, you're going to pay at least $2,000 for this property. You said, no, I want to back it down to $1,800 just to prove people that this is something that they should look at.
Yeah.
So ran the numbers, looked at this particular property, what it's renting for at $1,800, what the mortgage payment would be on this particular home at this time, what future appreciation is likely to occur, what rental rates are going to go to over the next 9 to 10 years, and came up with numbers, concrete, that really look at it. And this is real. This is happening, and it's happened over year after year after year. Real estate has been one of the most secure investments you can get into, and it's a known fact that homeowners have about 45 times the net worth of a renter over time. And
I
so
think we
it's
need to
it's
pause
unbelievable.
on that one.
Pause.
It's a
Yeah.
pause.
That's not even the bill stat of the day, is it?
No, it's not a bill stat of the day. That
But
is
you should
real
say that again.
concrete.
Say that again.
45 times the net worth. So the average, I'm going to give some basic numbers. So the average renter has about maybe $5,000 to $8,000 as a net worth. Typically, it's maybe money that they have saved or their car or equity. A homeowner has upwards of $225,000 to $250,000 of net worth. It's unbelievable.
It's not even in the same game.
No.
How can the first person with 5,000 in assets and just net worth ever compete with the person who has 200? Let's say they both invest in the same. Let's say they both invested in Amazon right before COVID, right? One person invested their entire net worth, $5,000. The other person invested half of their net worth, $100,000. They're still making 20 times what that first person did, despite putting all their money on the table, right?
Well, the best part about real estate, Brandon and Alexandra, is it is about leveraging the money that you have. So even if you had 5,000 to 8,000 now, you can put that into a home as an investment, and that home actually appreciates. So now instead of having a $5,000 monies to invest in, like maybe stocks or crypto, which a lot of people have done in the past and it hasn't worked out well for them, they can put it in real estate, but they're actually using that $5,000 to buy a $300,000 to $350,000 asset that's going to grow for them, and they get to live in it.
Yeah, that's the big part. I said, I can't feed my kids on a Bitcoin, right? I can't serve my kids dinner on a stock, right? Like there's a value
Right.
to owning the home, and that it actually provides a pragmatic use.
It's a tangible asset.
It's a tangible asset, 100%. That's why, to me, it's my favorite asset.
It's real property.
It's exactly. Your house may not spike the way, if you invested in Amazon before COVID, you made a spike that I probably can't even fathom or put into words, right? Which, good for you. Good for you. But how many stocks do that? And can your family live in that stock? Do your kids see anything directly from that?
Do you have the emotional attachment? Do you have the memories? Do you have the birthday parties? Do you have all those things there?
100%. Like
Right.
your kid's not growing up in the Amazon basement, right? Like
We
that's
hope
not
not.
that's not how this works.
No.
Maybe if you don't invest, your kid might end up working in an Amazon basement, right? So let's try to avoid that. From your perspective, have you dabbled in property management?
No, actually,
You haven't
I've
dabbled in
not.
property management?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe I gotta see if we can get Shelby on next week so we can actually get like a full property management. But as someone who worked with rentals at the beginning of my career, I felt bad every time I had to rent somebody a house. Because in my head, I'm doing the calculation of like, oh, you're paying $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. I'm literally costing you $24,000. Like I'm literally selling you
At
into
least.
yeah,
At least.
100%. I'm selling you into $24,000. Why is it that you think, no matter how many numbers we show people, because on the screen they're showing you $137,000. Why do you think that people make this emotional decision to keep renting?
To keep renting?
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of it's education. I think a lot of times people don't actually get to see these numbers. And this is a great opportunity because we have someone who is an expert like Bill showing us the numbers. But I think a lot of people think short term. Well, gosh, if I only have $5,000 in my savings, or well, what if I need to put new tires on my car? Well, what if all these what ifs? And I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to look at ways to get a down payment. Can it be gifted? A lot of different programs you can get into. So I just think that we don't know that you can do 3.5% down. You can do 5% down. We may be talking to our parents that say, oh, well, you got to put 20% down. You don't have 20%. So again, I think the biggest reason why people are not buying is they just don't know how to get into a program.
I think they're scared. And oh, by the way, before I forget, we just came out with a 3% down program, conventional, no mortgage insurance in certain census tracts. So it's a great way to actually reduce the mortgage payment for many, many people.
And can you explain mortgage insurance? Because
with
so mortgage, FHA or something like that.
So basically any loan program that you put less than 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. It doesn't help the buyer, but it helps the lender. So it's basically
security
mortgage insurance for the lender that if they're going to give, a 97% or 97.5% loan to value, it ensures the lender.
There's less skin in the game.
Less skin in the game
for the person purchasing the home.
Yeah.
But that's a great program now that could actually make these numbers even better.
And can that 3% be gifted?
3% can be gifted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, this is huge.
3%
for a down payment
program,
conventional.
No mortgage insurance.
Right? So, and think about this, as you talked about education.
Yes.
If you're not watching this, right? If you don't rewatch this on YouTube or see the repost on Instagram, whatever, how would you know about this?
You wouldn't.
You don't. And I think part of it is a mindset. It's the hardest part, in my opinion, Brandon, is picking up the phone. Because if you feel like, oh, my credit's not good enough, I don't have enough money, I don't know what I'm doing, this is going to be a stupid question.
Right.
And and I think a lot of people.
I'm comfortable in my apartment. I'm comfortable renting. I got to change school districts. I got to pack. I don't
want to bang on the table because Austin will yell at me, but that's how I felt.
Right.
You used the perfect word.
You get comfortable. The old shoe that fits. I know what I have. Why do I want to change? And I think that's what brings it up.
Renting a house to the women. I have a majority women audience, which doesn't make any sense at all. Look at me.
Well, you're
it's the taco.
handsome.
It's the tacos. It's the tacos. It's the way I eat tacos. I have a majority. I have a majority woman.
He's off the market.
He's off the market.
I brought it
Look
today.
at the ring.
I brought it today.
Yeah.
Comfortable is the single best. You're in my brain. I love having you here. I tell women, because again, randomly female audience, renting a house is like dating a shitty boyfriend. Ooh. After a certain amount of time, you just get comfortable with his bad behavior and you're like, oh, he needs to borrow money for a new video game again. That's like your rent going up, right? Every year he does something that F's up your credit and you're like, it's okay, I'm just comfortable here, right? You'd rather be with this shitty boyfriend than be lonely and uncomfortable. And that's how rentals do to people.
Exactly.
Right? You'd rather be in this shitty rental than be scared.
And what we don't realize when we're renting is you have restrictions. And you may not think you have restrictions, but what if you want to have a pet? What if you want to put a picture on the wall and they say you just put a hole in our wall? What if all these things you cannot change because you are living under someone else's rules.
It's all temporary.
It's temporary. We may think like, oh, well, I'm not living with mom and dad, but you're still living under someone else's rules.
You are powerless. Mm-hmm. You are powerless.
You're paying someone else's mortgage.
You're also paying someone else's mortgage. 100%. You're paying someone else's mortgage, right? Yeah. And Bill, from the financial side of things, right? Because me and Alexandra are always going to dive into the emotional part of things because to me, that's where the trouble lies. But there's a lot of our audience who they don't care about the emotions. What are the numbers, right?
Right. If
the average house gains 5% equity every year, and the average rent is 3 to 5% every year, what does that mean for people who buy houses versus those who rent them?
Yeah, I mean, I know I talk with buyers sometimes that have rented, and they've rented the same place. We have one right now that's rented the same place for 9 years. They're in contract right now, which is awesome, and I'm so happy for them. But in this particular scenario, the average homeowner lives in their house 7 to 10 years.
7 to 10 years.
The average over the last few years has been 9. Okay. And so this analysis that we have up here on the board assumes a 9-year average. And you can see the net gain by buying a home, $137,000.
Yeah.
That's huge. But there's a number up there that that's in red. That's $45,716. What is that number? That number is basically the difference between the rent that you pay and essentially what your mortgage payment would be over that time period, right? rent's going to go up and up every single year. You're going to actually be paying more on your mortgage, which is what people say, I'm going to be paying more on my mortgage. But what they don't realize is that part of that mortgage goes to paying down the mortgage itself. So you're
principal.
building equity, the principal.
Yep.
So it's essentially forced savings that they're putting money in. So in this scenario, they gain $172,000 in appreciation. That means the value of the house is going to go up by $172,000 over 9 years.
That's without even paying the
That's
principal.
without paying.
That's just
That's
just putting your money
nothing,
somewhere
right?
and letting it do its thing.
Then,
Yes.
in addition to that, you're going to pay your mortgage down by $45,800. So your property's going up. You're paying the balance down. You're building equity. Then they go, okay, well, yeah, you're going to be paying more on your mortgage payment. So we'll take out that $45,000 extra that you've paid, but you gain $137,000 overall over that 9-year period.
If rents worked the same way mortgages do, right? Then every time you paid your rent on time every year, your landlord would lower your rent at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
And so after 9 years in a rental, you might go from $1,800 down to $1,000, but it doesn't work that way, right?
No. Well, and in this scenario, you can see by the end of, by year 10, the rent is higher than your mortgage payment. Okay. So if you stay in it over
Right.
10 years, well, now that whole scenario, instead of making 137,000,
Yep.
if you extended that out another 9 years, that number's probably going to be that $250,000, $300,000 over that time period. So this is just and then I disagree with you.
Bring it.
$1,800 for that house, that's not happening. They're going to have to pay at least $2,000. And I did a scenario on 2,000.
Yeah.
That number jumps up to $163,000 over that time.
Jesus. I lowball.
You lowballed it.
I want people, when people yell at me on the internet, I actually want them to win. So I give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm
right?
yelling at you.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't think the house that I showed would have gone for $1,800.
No.
I just did a rough average I wanted that guy to win, right? I wanted to show him no matter how extreme you make I could have made the rent $1,500. I could have made the rent $1,000. These numbers would still apply. The rent could have been $1,000, and after 9 years, that person is still out over $100,000. That's the point. No matter how much we could lower the rent to $1, you're still going to lose money.
Yeah, and I'm also going to go back to the fact of, working with thousands of buyers and borrowers over the last, 30 years. People spend the money that they have, right? Their income goes up. Oh, I can buy a little bit bigger Starbucks.
Yep.
Income goes up.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to buy a little bit nicer
Yep.
car. Oh, income goes up. Oh, I'm going to buy some nicer furniture.
Yep.
So they end up not actually saving money. They end up spending the money because people say, well, I'm going to rent and I'm going to save money and I'm going to go buy a house, right? Well, they rent and then the rent goes up.
And
They pay a little bit more on the rent and then they buy a little bit nicer car and they have no money. This is essentially securing your future and building wealth by putting it into an investment that's kind of like a forced savings.
100%. If you took, because when people bank more, I'm the
passionate about
guilty.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about, this is like my biggest curse is I feel when I was broke as hell, I didn't feel broke as hell because I had been broke for so long that was just normal to me, right? The more money I make, the more successful I get, I feel broker every day because I'm like, oh God, I don't have enough for anything, right? Because now I'm aware of what I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
But you're right, people make enough money. We go through people's finances. They make enough money. They spend and don't save enough.
Yes.
And I just think it's the instant gratification of, well, it's just cheaper and it's cheaper right now today to rent opposed to looking at, whoa, I had no idea how this is setting me back financially and it's setting me back for my future. And you may have someone that's younger in their 20s thinking, yeah, but I'm 23 or 25. I don't know. I don't really want to live here. Or I might, no, buy today, get in there, start your savings, get a roommate in there. Someone that we did a loan with. Should we bring our friend up?
Absolutely.
Can't say her name, but someone that I did multiple loans for, and she was 19 years old.
Damn.
19 years old. She was in, I don't remember which branch of the military, but she had her VA loan, which is 0% down. And that's a whole nother day, whole nother topic. But here was this young woman, and I think by the time, I had maybe done 5 loans for her, 5 different homes. This young woman was able to purchase at the age of 19, 20, 21. She would keep taking the equity out of her home and making that into the down payment for the next home. She bought a home for her parents. She bought a home for her husband. She bought a home for herself. She took her husband's VA allotment as well, and they were just able to keep building this wealth. And here, she was...
At 28, I think she had 6 homes.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was enlisted, and she was just able to take her money and be smart with it.
Yes.
She could probably retire at 30.
Yes, because she got the education, but she also had the mindset that she could pull this off. She didn't do what most people do and go, "Oh, I'm only 19. I probably can't even do it."
Or I'm only going to be here for 2 years.
Yeah.
What's the point?
That's the most defeated mindset that I get every single day. "Oh, Brandon, well, not all of us can be rich." I said, "Dude, I've sold houses to guys who work at Meineke. They're not rich. The kid was 22 years old. He worked at Meineke. He wasn't, selling stocks. He wasn't a rich YouTuber. He was just a guy with a blue-collar job. And we got him a brand new condo because he wanted it bad enough."
Yeah.
Right?
You have to want it. The thing I love, I get so excited when somebody calls me and says, "I want to buy a home, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what the process is. I only have this. My credit score is that. How do I get there?" And instead of I will say this, a lot of lenders will go, "Oh, they're not going to buy," push them aside. I love it because I can help them at least build a game plan to say, this is how much you can save. This is how you can work on your credit. And this is the income that you need. And this is the property you can buy. And then they have at least this new mindset of, "Oh, I'm going to be a homeowner.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make the changes in my life right now to do it." So I think it's
thinking as if you are a homeowner, beginning to make those mental changes as if you are living the $1 million life, or as if you are living in that home. We were earlier talking about I'm a renter, and I don't know, the instant gratification of having extra $500 in my pocket or whatever. We're going to spend what we have. It's getting that mindset to, okay, this is my goal. I want to be a homeowner. I want to have money in the bank. I want to have an extra $140,000. Okay, what would a person that has $140,000 in their checking account do differently? What would he or she do differently? How can I start living that way differently? So when looking at this, it's a no-brainer to say, okay, let me get focused. Let me meet with somebody to work on my finances and get a game plan. Maybe there's credit issues, maybe there's asset issues, maybe there's a job issue, but let's get it together and let's figure out, maybe you're self-employed and you're not reporting your income. That's something I would see a lot, especially in Southern California. And it's like, no, we got to start reporting your income. We got to go back. There's ways to do this, but especially with that 3% down conventional loan.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's huge.
Yes. Yes, a 3% down conventional loan is
No mortgage insurance.
And no
mortgage
MI.
insurance is game changing.
Yeah.
Because that's typically what scares people away is the mortgage insurance that they're paying on top of their mortgage. We have, matter of fact, we're going to do an entire episode, or at very least just a 15-minute about that, because I think that's something people need to know, and we need to get that out to everybody that I know. To summarize all this up, you guys, I bring Bill and Alexandra on here because you guys have to know the finances. But some of you are not motivated by money, and I understand that because I'm someone who also isn't motivated by money. Money has never convinced me to do anything. The only reason I work the job that I do is so I can buy my family nicer gifts. I don't really care about the stuff.
Can I say something before you keep going?
Sure.
You give back incredibly to the community. Your time, money, you are always giving back. And I want to point that out. It's, kudos. Unbelievable.
I appreciate that.
And you
I
got
do.
something going on this Saturday too.
Oh, I do.
which
Hey,
think
guys,
is
to
unbelievable.
support Metro for everything that they do and to help give back. This Saturday, we're doing Shop a Cop at the West Charleston location at 8 in the morning. If you guys want to make it out there, we basically sponsor local children with Metro, and we buy them whatever the hell they want for Christmas. It's the best feeling in the whole world. So if you guys would like to give back for Christmas time, that's something to do.
So I didn't mean to get you off
no,
track,
no,
but
no,
but
no,
that's
no, no,
where
no.
some of your money goes to.
That's-
Is you're always giving it away.
I told my wife I'm gonna go broke. I'm gonna give everything away. That's my mission in life, is to make a bunch of money and give it all away, because I'm not motivated by
That's
the
who
money.
you are.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of you out there who are like me. So to you guys, I just want to say this. You're in your home. Your kids go to the local school. They have their friends. They're happy, which is all you've ever wanted, was for your kids to be happy. And then your landlord comes knocking on the door and says, hey, I know you've paid the rent here for 3 years, but you got 30 days to move out. Your kids need to find new friends in a new school, and you're powerless to stop them. This is the problem with renting, ultimately. Bill can give you numbers. Alexandra can give you numbers. We can tell you you're losing 6 figures, but a lot of you don't care about that. What I'm here to tell you is your kids will have to move. You can cry, you can complain, you can go on social media and say, my landlord's doing this, and there's nothing anyone can do to help you. Your kids will have to find new friends in a new school, because you have no power as a renter. You are powerless, and it's time for you to take your power back. If you need help, Bill is here to help you. He's to let you guys behind the scenes. The reason Bill is the co-host here is because there's no other lenders who are willing to do what me and Bill do, where we don't care if you're not ready now. We don't care if you're not ready 6 months from now. We're here to help you through the entire program. Bill, you are a man of your word. Every client I've ever sent you has said you're a man of your word and you actually help. So if you're watching this and you're someone who's never thought you could do this, I'm here to tell you, Bill will change your mind. All you have to do is give him a shot. Bill, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Best way is go to billgaylor.com or call me, 858. I can't point the right way.
776-6830. What was that number again, Bill?
858-776-6830. And look, we can just run the numbers. I'm very harmless, and I would love to help you in any way possible.
What does it cost to reach out to you, Bill?
It doesn't really cost. It costs nothing.
It's free.
Is you
So
said
it's
free?
It's free.
Free 99?
Free.
Zero?
Free.
Zilch?
Free.
Nada?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Whatever your cell phone provider charges.
Whatever
you.
your cell phone provided for a call, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember when they used to say it cost to text.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I
The good old
remember
days.
that, right?
I got 500
There
text
is no
messages
text
a month.
charge
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we're not going to forget.
Oh.
Alexandra,
Yeah.
the audience wants it. They need it. We
My
need the
animal stat?
Alexandra animal stat
Okay,
of
guys.
the day.
I brought a prop today.
Okay.
This is
She
exciting.
brought a prop.
Okay. So
I'm a little nervous right now.
this is the Garibaldi.
Okay.
Okay.
This
It's a beautiful looking
I made
Garibaldi.
this in the
You
second
made
grade.
that?
I did. So the Garibaldi is the
what grade?
second
Second.
Second.
Okay, that's impressive.
that I still have it also.
Yeah.
I had my son was playing with this morning. I'm like, no, I need that for my prop. Anyways, the Garibaldi is the California state fish. And what's interesting about this guy and why I think we should talk about him, he's a pimp. This guy,
Okay.
we were talking about nesting on other episodes. We're talking about the male bird in Belize that builds the nest. So this guy in the spring decides to make a nest for his mate. It'll take him a month. He gets red algae, he gets all sorts of things in there to make his nest. Now here's the catch. After the female, she has to check out which nest she likes. After she lays her eggs, he then kicks her out. And he kicks her out immediately. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. And here's the best part.
It's awesome.
He has up to 5 mates. He has up to five female
mates.
fishes
Okay.
that come in and lay their eggs, and he kicks them all out.
Wow.
So this is not how we live in our lifestyle here. This is definitely not how.
Yeah, it's usually the opposite for us.
usually the opposite. But this fish is
We
the one.
get kicked
So
out of
for
our nest.
home ownership for this guy, man, he has all the women up in there.
Right? You build a home and the women will come.
Build it and they will come.
The animal fact of the day continues
Yeah,
to get better.
that's good.
The Garibaldi.
We still have our stat of the day for Bill, too.
I
Okay.
hate that you have to
Oh.
follow this
Yes.
up, but
this
Do you like
is-
the prop?
Look at that.
The Garibaldi.
This is still very well done for,
A 7-year-old.
I don't know how
That's
old that is,
impressive.
but that's pretty well done.
Bill,
Thank you.
Bill,
Oh
Bill,
man, I have
Bill,
to do this
Bill,
after
Yeah.
this.
Bill Guy, the mortgage guy. That's your side of the day music. I
Okay.
got you.
Can you do most interesting man in mortgage?
Bill. Most interesting man in mortgage guy.
That's good.
There we go.
Okay, stat of the day after this Garibaldi fish thing. Did you know that in 1971, the average interest rate was 7.33%? If you waited for rates to fall below that time period, or to below 7.33, you would have had to wait 22 years. Go 1993 for the rate to drop below 7.33%. So a lot of people out there are going, oh, I'm going to wait till rates drop.
This is very current for today.
Yeah.
Rates drop. Rates are over 7%. Rates are 7.1, basically. Do I believe they're going to come down? I do.
What does your crystal ball say?
My crystal ball says that we're going to see lower rates the second half of 2024, but I think there's there's not enough inventory. When rates drop, you're going to see this big push of buyers.
And
values
prices will
are going to
go
go up, so it's not going to matter that rates drop. Buy now, you can lower your rate through a refinance.
I
Don't
like
wait.
that. I like that you said in the 20 years it took for people to wait for rates to drop. The house is
It
quadrupled.
would have already
They
paid for itself.
quadrupled.
You would
Yeah,
have.
I forgot to put
The
that
house
up there.
would've paid.
Meanwhile, the value of real estate quadrupled.
Quadrupled.
So, for example, $100,000 went to $400,000.
So while you're sitting around waiting to save $100 to $200 on your mortgage, you're losing out on four times the
You're waiting
initial
20 years.
investment.
yes, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is why financial people buy houses and think people.
That's a pretty good
yeah.
stat of the day.
I think
That's
that's
a
a fantastic
fabulous
stat.
one. It's
Come-
not like the
It
Garibaldi
doesn't
pimp.
compare to the Garibaldi.
No, I think we need to start doing. Because you're never going to beat her animal facts of the day, dude. Yeah.
Can I go first?
Yeah, we need to have.
I want to go first. I don't want to follow Garibaldi.
No. All I care about is the pimp fish nowadays.
Yes.
Hey guys, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it, especially the day after all this that happened. I needed my spirits lifted, and this has definitely done the trick. Talking to you guys always makes me feel better. You guys are educated and beautiful, and it's fun to be around you guys. So, Bill, thank you. I'm glad we got our high five correct today.
Look at you guys.
Alexandra, that's a connection of a high five. Thank you guys for being around today. Bill, tell them how to reach you. You're big on social. Tell them how to reach the most interesting man in mortgage.
O.Gaylord.
O.Gaylord.
O.Gaylord is my handle on social, and then BillGaylord.com.
BillGaylord.com.
Easy to find me. And I'm really looking forward to joining you tomorrow for the event.
Yes, I'm looking forward
Saturday.
to it too.
Yep, Saturday. Or
What's
Saturday.
Saturday for the event. Oh, I got another
What's
event
the
tomorrow
date?
I can tell you about too.
What's the date for for people listening? Just make sure that they're current.
Saturday,
Today is
The 9th.
December
okay.
9th, 8 a.m. at the Walmart on West Charleston. The Walmart on West Charleston.
Is that really the 9th?
It's Saturday,
Yes.
yeah. Because today's
Okay.
the
Today's
7th. And
Oh.
then the 8th is Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 9th. The Walmart on West Charleston, 8 a.m. Santa is going to be helicoptering down. It's going to
No.
be, it's going to be so rad.
Santa's coming.
Santa is coming
Santa's
to town
coming.
on a
Do you know him?
chopper. I mean, he kind of looks like Bill a little bit, just a little more,
Just a little
more rotund. So he's got the body of me, but the face of Bill. It's like a combination of the two of us. It's
That's
beautiful.
gonna. I would like to see that combo. We'll
What?
have to do a little thing on there.
We should do like a 20,
Yeah,
like a 23 and me.
those-
What happens if me and Bill have a baby? That'd be perfect. It would be if you combine me and Bill, it would be Santa Claus. That's perfect.
Well, I love Santa. My favorite movie of all time, Elf.
That's a good movie.
I love Elf.
That's a
I
good
cry every single time. When the Christmas spirit comes up.
Yeah.
And the,
Well, I don't really
Sleigh
cry.
is going up. I do
Will
every
Ferrell
time.
doesn't bring me to tears, but I
He
do
does
love
to
some
me.
Elf. Hey guys, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you have any comments, questions, any feedback you guys have about the episode, if we learned just something today, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to spread real estate education to as many people as possible. Leave us a comment or question below. Me and Bill check these YouTube messages. I check them daily. If you guys have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them. And as always, come and be my neighbor. Peace.